Okay, we are live. And I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I can't see.
Aw, is that
That's
Ginger?
Beatrix.
It's
That's
what?
Beatrix.
Beatrix. Oh, okay. I'm seeing kitties on the other screen. But hi everybody. Hi there, kitty. So
Love you, Sharon.
you too, guys. Love all of you guys. Hi.
We love all of our peeps.
Yes, we love all of our peeps. Oh, and you know what? I figured out something because it's been kind of a tough week for everybody, and I've been kind of talking about it a little bit on the chat, and um, I was really stressed out this week. But you know what? I figured out something interesting happened last weekend because we all know about Mercury retrograde by now, and even CNN underscored had an article about things to help you survive Mercury retrograde. Of course, that's like sponsored partners, so it's not actual CNN people. But anyway, this past weekend, Venus started going into retrograde. Venus retrograde lasts for about 60 days. So the beginning of September is when Venus will stop being in retrograde, and eventually, I think Venus will be like invisible completely for a little while, and then start to come up in the morning, because right now it's been an evening star. Now it's starting to disappear. Now, of course, in Mesopotamia, Venus was associated with Inanna, Ishtar, and the story of her descent may well have to do with Venus's disappearance. But in Egypt, Venus was associated with Horus. Most of the visible planets were some aspect of Horus, except Mercury, which was connected to Set, which still kind of explains some of the weird things that Mercury does. But yeah, so Venus retrograde is supposed to, and see, the thing for me is it's going retrograde in my birth sign, my primary sign, and so I'm going a little nuts.
It's a little.
Yeah. So fun times. But that's one of the things that is going on, and I think if anybody has felt like nothing has been right lately, maybe that's part of it.
If you ever want to send a little priestess relief fund, that would be great, because I want to spoil this woman.
Yeah, so sarcastic is like, Venus is in Gatorade? I like it. You found what in your Gatorade? Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that.
So I'm gonna have to remember that expression. By the way, next time somebody, like when our pal Brian says something about Mercury retrograde, I'll have to mess with him. You put what in your Gatorade?
Yeah, I can't get him to respond, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'll have to message him, but that's another thing. So tonight we have a going forth of Hathor, and also honoring Tefnut. Unfortunately, I don't have any artwork of Tefnut yet, but I started sketching some things earlier in the week and just couldn't get any further than that. But think another fuzzy lion goddess. So
we are losing fortune.
Oh, that's one of, I think that's one of yours. Yes, that's one of yours. So I'll stick it down here. So
that's where we lost it from.
Yeah. Well, we have fans going all over the place. The air currents are moving everywhere because it's hot. If you are in the northern hemisphere, it is hot right now.
Yeah.
And prayers also tonight for our pals in the southern hemisphere, because what we're going through now, they will surely be dealing with in another few months. So, this is not something we want to give you, but I don't think there's any way around that. So,
unless we, I don't know, healed the planet from climate change.
Problem is, it's like so many other things. It's like losing weight. You didn't get this way overnight. You're not going to get out of this overnight either. That's the tough thing about it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Perhaps I shouldn't have ordered the 7 Big Macs, 3 large fries, and 2 sundaes from Grubhub. Not that I have the money to do that. But.
There's some things about Grubhub I just don't understand. Well, while I'm getting some things ready off camera, I will just say, okay, people who use Grubhub or DoorDash to order Taco Bell. Why? Because by the time it gets to you, you're getting a soft taco whether you ordered it or not.
No doubt.
So that is my thought for the evening on that. So let us get into a different frame of mind. These cool waters are upon my hands, and they purify me. As Kemetic purifies me. Hail unto you, O Naturi. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands, our purity is within our hearts, and we have cast out all evil that pertains to us. We are pure, we are pure, we are pure, we are pure. See, it's so hot, that wasn't so bad.
No, it wasn't. And that's tell you because I'm so sensitive.
Yeah, yeah, it actually
I'm
wasn't
sensitive, though.
bad. When it's so hot outside that Darren wants the cool waters. Although I almost feel like we shouldn't be complaining just yet because it's supposed to be hotter by this time next week than it is right now. So, oh yeah, they're saying only like 98, 99 here.
Yeah.
But it'll be like 101, 102 next week. So, well, yeah, and you know what? I realize that there are people in places like Phoenix right now that'll be like, I'll take that. Only 102? So, a little bit of perspective. Oh, Demetrius, hello. Do you know where I can buy a cistern that's not $200?
Yes.
Well, I tell you, there's a couple of possible options real quick before we get going. Because, yeah, like this one I got from Little Egypt, and it was, I think, about 60 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Now, at one time, because I have another one down here, then you might still be able to find these on eBay. This one is from Ethiopia, and I believe it was about $30 when I got it. And I tell you what, we'll use it when we get started, but so you can hear what it sounds like. The nifty thing about this is that the handle is a spent shell casing from the.
It's a Russian 50 cal.
Yeah.
It's one of the few Russian pieces of ordnance that still work.
Well, and there's no telling where they got it from.
By the way, we have no idea if it could actually hit its target or not.
I don't know. Well, you know what? This thing I bought in 2015, so there's no telling how old this is. But somebody got a hold of it, and you want to talk about turning swords into plowshares.
Yeah, and I have to say that's one of the things I love about it is because turning an instrument of war into an instrument of peace is an ultimate symbol of hope for humanity.
Yes. So yeah, that's a couple of possible alternatives. Now I also have in Following the Sun, I have instructions on how to make one. And I don't know. Do they have things on Etsy that are not like Demetrius was saying, $200? No, but we can keep talking about that in a minute. So we will shelter this tiny little flame as it becomes the Eye of Horus. Come in peace, bright Eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The Eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The Eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The Eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world. To everyone who's tuning in with us now. Yep, and I knew it was going to do that. And will be joining us in the future. Hold on.
You know it's hot when the candles suffer from heat exhaustion.
No. What happens is I have a fan going full bore, and as I move it around the room,
making a joke, yeah.
Yeah, well, there are other jokes that can be made. But here, to try and protect it till it gets to its destination. But oh well.
In spirit, to all
Yes.
those who are watching now and will be watching later, let's put this candle up while it's still a candle.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to try and bring it in front of the camera here. But there we go.
Yeah, I helped.
And now receive the light.
Receive the light.
Yeah.
They're laughing at me.
Huh. Well, I'll tell you something else. I have become very much a fan, and we can also do this too. Very much a fan of little LEDs because you know what? Air currents won't affect these. And if you ever do rituals outside, well, as evidenced when we were doing Wet Run Pet, the slightest breeze can blow out that candle, but it won't blow this out. And so I know it doesn't feel the same as having the actual flame, but as an extension of the Eye of Horus, you can have something that comes to everyone. Thanks to modern technology, folks all over the world can be joining us now and in the future and receive the light. And we are purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
Yeah. And I'm sure all of us have some stories about, mishaps and hijinks involving open circles and, technical difficulties. I think my favorite one is still when the Yule altar caught on fire.
That was amazingly fun.
Yeah.
I love that it caught on fire with a bunch of food offerings under it. They were for the food bank, so hot meal, everybody here.
Well, some things never made it to the food bank. All right, let me see if I can drop this in so we can have Sekhmet's candle lit. There we go.
P.S. Your
Booyah.
canned tomato sauces will explode.
Yeah. If they get hot enough, canned tomato sauce will explode. We found this out. So practice altar safety, everyone.
Yeah.
So now. Okay. Oh, Mary Dwepoy says, I have an antique Egyptian reed, a tambourine that does similar things. Those are cool. Lots on Etsy for around 100. Dimitri says, I'm slowly making progress on your books and working all the time. I know the feeling. Yes, outdoor rituals are great for residents. But yeah, and also for safely
Feather.
things. Huh?
Feather.
Oh goodness, yes. Well, this was our feather. I don't remember if we used this or not, but this is a vulture feather that is. My grandmother gave it to me when I was a kid. Okay.
Wow.
So it's over 35 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, this is an actual vulture feather. So I put some binding on it, and since there's a spell for the beginning of the year that calls for a vulture feather, I said, well, you know what? I will use this one.
We need to use some duck fat or chicken fat.
Yeah. Well, I think some wax.
Yeah.
Somehow I got some wax on or something, but that's actually holding some of the very old quills in place.
Right.
But yeah. So this feather, it has a lot of mojo.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, we are going to put it right here so it won't blow around. Okay, that's right. So my little stool is in the other room. So using our modern system. You arise in the Akhetas Capri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine on earth as you do in heaven and Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from Nun at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side. For such, I did screw myself up. So who are the words you commanded, and Sia is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, and hail and praise unto you, O Hathor, mistress of Dendera, daughter of Ra, and hail and praise unto Tefnut, also daughter of Ra. Hail and praise unto you, O Unechidu, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness, and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out his fet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us, and your strength being within us. Take these, your cool waters that are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. Oyanachuru, these waters are the eye of Horus. Your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, Oyanachuru, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense, great purity. This incense is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. It cleanses you. It adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. This incense is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. And this was a lovely gift that was sent. We got it in the mail today, and we're just going to open the box as an opening. And these are dates that are filled with chocolate and cashews and pistachios. And it actually was shipped here with a little cold pack.
Yes,
So
the
now
gods
we
will
know.
be eating the entire box tonight.
Well, they're still going to need our help to do it. So
That's my entire point.
Take this, your bread, your dates, on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, so you know sugar. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. And I'm going to go ahead and close the box back up, but it's been presented, and I think the camera was able to see that. So these look pretty
Looks
tasty.
delicious.
Yeah. And it's Sweet Saffron is the brand. So if you decide, oh hey, I want to find something like this, that's what you would look for. So oh, it's got a nice little red ribbon. So there we go. The gardens prosper, and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Hathor, O Yenachuru. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Okay. Pure. Pure is Ra Horaketi within his house. Pure is Hathor, mistress of Dendera, within her house. Pure is Tefnut, mistress of Lower Menset and Yunu, within her house. Pure are the cause of all of these gods, with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, for Ra, for Hathor, for Tefnut, in every place that their immortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horaketi. Come to your body, O Hathor, mistress of Dendera. Come to your bodies, O Yenachuru. Come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these, your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people. Raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra, before Hathor, for Tefnut. All life comes from them. All prosperity comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time.
Question. Health was missing. Why?
Oh, all life comes from them. All health comes from him.
You missed it. You missed it.
Well, you know what? We could use some health.
We sure could.
Yes. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All prosperity and good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. Yeah, I was going, the industry term is off book, which means you're not looking at your script. And sometimes you can get away with that, but sometimes
you miss one.
Yeah.
I mean, even the best do.
Yeah, so
I'm just proud because I remembered it.
yes. See, that's what happens when you pay attention.
I pay attention. I'm a good boy.
But yes, and you learned a new term, because to go off book means you're not, you're not looking at your notes. Ora Horaketi, and your son, the Osir Nisu Nevkapra. Your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. Okay. I love that. Sarcastic says, I freaking love dates. Little literal tree brownies. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. What's neat about this other system is it's not made with the kind of jingles that you would get like on a tambourine, so it has a very unique sound. But dates are like candy. They're great. But now, from the table of the gods to the table of the blessed dead, we light this candle that it may be the eye of Horus that lights their way into life. And we pour these cool waters from the table of Osiris, that their hearts may be refreshed. And of course, we have to include I suppose it's been about 72 hours since you took your love away from us, but nothing compares to you, Sinead O'Connor.
We love you.
And I also have to add a friend of ours, her boyfriend is doing training in the Marines, desert training in California right now. And they had someone this week who collapsed and died because of the heat.
In the middle of field training,
yeah. And
I'd also like to offer a prayer for the 3 Marines
that they found in North Carolina.
Monoxide poisoning.
Yeah. Found them in their car, yeah.
May they all know peace.
And may Hathor put her arms around their families, because when you hear about a military training accident or something like that happens, there's always family back home that has to hear very terrible news. And that happened with a schoolmate of mine that I went to elementary school with back in 2007. So we were just 30, but he went down in a Black Hawk helicopter accident doing training in Italy. And, it really sucks when you see ticker tape on the news about, there was something that happened, and then you find out, someone who was on it.
Yeah, and I want to say something. It doesn't matter what nation you serve.
Mm-hmm.
You serve. And we want the world to have peace so this kind of thing can stop.
Yeah. So, Henket, Kakao of the Senator Mahar, couldn't bet no for Wabet Anket Naturim, and Cow and Akuku Nibu, Makara Nibu Hiranatra. Voice offering, bread and beer, and I'll add cool waters. Beef and fowl, 1,000 of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which God lives, for the cause of all of these Aku, all true of voice before the great God. And now we come unto you, O Ra, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your Ka shall live. Truly, your Aeneid has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Aeneid says unto you, your word is law, eternally. This fet is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. And may we act with gentility and compassion, such as the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality, for such as the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity, for such as the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness, for such as the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth, such as the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good, such as the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance, for such as the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others, for such as the eighth Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. Okay. We don't have an icon of Tefnut yet. I'm working on it. But in the meantime, we do have a series of chants for her. Hail, O Tefnut, daughter of Atum. Hail, O Tefnut, firstborn daughter of the Lord of all. Great goddess, Eye of Ra, Uraeus of Ra, the great Mehen, the great young feline, Lady of the Sky. Hail, O Ma'at, enduring time. Hail. And by the way, she can be identified with Ma'at, actually. So, yeah, Hail, O Tefnut, Ma'at, enduring time, Lady of Life. Hail unto you, O Tefnut. Come and make merry for the golden one. Good cheer for the mistress of the two lands. Come, arise, that I might make for you rejoicing at twilight and music in the night. O Hathor, you are exalted in the hair of Ra. In the hair of Ra. To you is given the sky, the deep night, and the stars. Great is her majesty when she is happy. And a little something else. Hold on. Hail, O Hathor, golden lady, mistress of love, O beautiful one who comes in joy, mistress of dancing and revelry, beloved daughter of Ra, lady of turquoise and gold. You light up the sky with your brilliance. Shine upon all faces and bless us with your love. O Eye of Ra, May you defend us from evil. O Mistress of the West, may you embrace our blessed dead and guide us safely to them when our day of mourning comes. Okay. Let me check and see what comments have. Let's see. Well, if anybody has any prayer requests, definitely let's go ahead and do those. And we'll do our cookies. And did you have some requests, Darren? Or?
My standing ones. Peace for you.
Healing for your mom.
Healing for my mom. A little love and protection for me too.
Yeah. It just seems like we've all been going through a really tough time, especially this week. And, I don't know if it's because of Venus going into retrograde or if there's just a whole lot of larger things that are moving, currents that we can't see. But it just seems like we all could use some. And definitely ask the Mistress of Love to help us all find some. And I'm not talking about, necessarily romantic love, although that can be a part of it, but love for yourself, finding love and validation from those that are close to you. And if you're not able to find it from, certain people in your life, then find some that do. And we all could use that. Okay. Well, I tell you what. We'll start with our cookie for everyone. And this will be for, especially if someone's tuning in later. And I tell you what, now that I have a little shelf under here, I can put this one on. So this will be our cookie for everyone. Put our vulture feather right here. And then Sarcastic will be next, and then Serana. Okay.
And Sharon, when we get a chance, Shannon would like a cookie.
Alrighty, well then that's what we'll do. We'll go Sarcastic, then Serana, and then Shannon.
Thank you.
Yeah. So our first one, this is for everyone, and if you're tuning in afterwards, it says, walk that straight and narrow path for now. Walk that straight and narrow path for now. So I guess because it is Venus retrograde, don't try anything risky or shady right now. Now's not the time to do it. Walk straight and narrow. So this is for everyone. So now for Sarcastic. Sarcastic. Search your own heart with all the diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Search your own heart with all the diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Now, I think you can take issue in several different ways, because you have issues as in, having issues, but also issues as in what comes out. So everything that's saying to be aware of what is coming out of your own heart. because that's the seat of everything. So now for Serrana. And we have a full basket right here. I think that's making it real easy for them to just pop out. Serrana, be cautious and examine any business plan. Wow. Be cautious and examine any business plan. And you know what I think paired with that one for everybody? That's pretty clear. But okay, now it's for Shannon's turn, and then after Shannon, Sachihuti on Discord. Okay. And then Amin said, married whip away. All right, for Shannon. Mental activity keeps you busy at this time.
Oh, yes.
That's for Shannon. Yes. Mental.
Oh, yes.
Huh?
Oh, she says, oh, yes.
Mental activity keeps you busy at this time. So, yeah. Bring a book to read. Guess. Okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And so next is for Sachihuti, who I know is tuning in rather late. That's right. It's got to be hot over there because I know that so somebody pointed out you've got wildfires going on in Greece, and I heard that they're talking about instituting sort of an equivalent of a siesta in Germany, or not instituting, but they're making the recommendation for that. That sounded really interesting.
If I remember correctly, also Italy is on fire too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but this is for Sachihuti. Arriving at one goal is the starting point to another. So arriving at one goal is the starting point to another. So that could be, one thing at a time, or I think that's what it is overall. You focus on one thing, arriving at one goal, that will be the starting point to something else. So next is Amonset, and then Married Wepawet. That's right, and you're tuning in from England. I hope it's not too hot over there. But okay, this one's for Amonset. Okay, Amonset, your way of doing what other people do their way is what makes you special. Your way of doing what other people do their way is what makes you special. So in other words, you do things in your own way. That's what makes you special. So you be you. Don't worry about doing it exactly how other people say you should be doing it. What works for you is best. So your way of doing what other people do their way is what makes you special. So Amonset, that was for you. And now for Married Wepawet. Married Wepawet. Want to catch the fishes? One must go home and build the net first. If you want to catch the fishes, you must go home and build the net first. So I notice overall there's a pattern of don't look, 2 miles down the road. Concentrate on what's right here in front of you, the most immediate steps, and don't do anything really risky or over the top right now. Hang on just a second. Boo? You okay? Hang in there. Well, yeah. We haven't been getting a lot of sleep at night lately, and the sky was getting light when we went to bed this morning, so we're really tired. But, okay. Everywhere's on fire. Okay, and Marie Brimmer, we've been flooded with rain in my hometown. Payson Park flooded over, and certain parts of my hometown were flooded. Okay, and so Married Wepawet has had flood warnings too. Yeah, that's something I noticed. Like up in the northeast of the United States, they're having that too. So it's either baking hot or rain, or on fire, which is part of that baking hot. And so there's been like nothing in between. And I guess the most we can do is just stick together and pray for some the fortitude and whatever else we need in order to just get through
safety and balance.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. Well said. So if anybody else has a request, by all means put those up and
an evaluation.
Yeah. Yeah. You can tell we watched a lot of Aqua Teen Hunger Force in the mid-double aughts.
Yeah, they're taking Squidbillies off of Max forever come August 1.
Oh, that's... For those of you that are familiar, if you have ever seen the Adult Swim series Squidbillies, yeah, parts of it were really weird, but some of the characters in there were eerily true to life for down in the South.
Yes, they were.
I swear I had an aunt by marriage that if she were a squid, she would have been Aunt Lil. And I know that they basically they fired the guy that was the voice of early Squid, was
right.
it? Because he had said some things that were racist or
he said some things about Dolly Parton.
Oh, okay, yeah. But ironically, that sort of fits with the character. He played an intolerant and insensitive redneck squid. It figures. It's one of those things. And so a lot of people didn't get that series, but no, if you were from the South, it's like, yeah,
you either got it or you didn't because you didn't want to get it.
Yeah. My brother did not like that show, but I said, well, that's because you work with people like that. So, but that's all I'm going to say about that. Oh, yeah, and I know where you live, Wolf. I could totally buy that because Wolf says, yeah, that show reminds me of people here in town.
Yep, I bet.
Yeah, I can totally buy that. So, all right. I tell you what, because I know we need some. I'm going to say a few more prayers for everybody, and if anybody's got some more requests, be sure to put those up. Make sure if you're enjoying this video, give it a like. We got to work those algorithms.
So at some point, we should get an image of Bez around here. We could use a lot more laughter.
Actually, well, I tell you what, you requested that. We actually have him, thanks to one of our generous viewers. So, and since Bess works well with Hathor, there we are. So, and it's a very nice little figure of him too. And it's in kind of a. I don't think it's actual fans, but it's colored like it, so it works.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
And looking like it's just enough. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. I'm going to give you guys one little interesting thing that I learned the right terms for something that I had known about. Because we all know, being fans of Egyptian things, we know what faience is. And the reason why the Egyptians loved faience is because they could make it fairly cheap, and it was pretty, and it was a great substitute for turquoise. Well, in Asia, there's a kind of ceramic work that does the same thing for jade. Now, it's a lot harder to do than faience was, because faience, they use like a quartz silica compound, and they were able to just mass produce it. Celadon pottery, sometimes just called greenware, is very complicated because they have to put iron oxide in it. They have to fire it at a very high temperature and make sure that there's, they deprive it of oxygen at a certain point in the firing process. But if it's done right, the end result mimics jade. And it's been popular for centuries, and you can still get things that are made of it. And hopefully next week I can show you an example that is similar to something that my grandmother used to have that was made of that Celadon greenware pottery, and that one of my greedy aunts thought was jade and stole over 4th of July weekend, thinking she could resell it for a bunch of money, when it's actually not. The Celadon statues like that, are, you can find them on eBay. They're not that expensive, but it was good enough to fool somebody who didn't bother to pay attention and look at the finish on the glaze.
Well, in other words, it's going to be good enough to fool somebody that knows nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm being polite.
So that's your little bit of history, and that's your explanation, so that when I show you one of the pieces that I have coming, this week, you'll know what I was referring to.
By the way, Monday is her birthday, so if y'all want to load up some super thanks so we can spoil this woman rotten, that'd be great.
Oh, and you know what I do have to say on that front, because I got an accumulation of super thanks in, and not quite half of that I put into the fund for our incorporation.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna tell on the boss here.
Okay.
You guys have no idea how much time she spends working toward getting a real church going. She really, really does.
Well, I'd like to spend more and get us a little further along, but I can at least say that we have $650 in the kitty saved up. Doesn't matter what goes on in my life, that money's not being touched, and that is specifically for Kemetic reform. And when I get super thanks, I take some of that and I put it in there. So, and some of it's going to go towards some more equipment so I can make more videos. So. But anyway. Hear us, O Ra, great Lord of Unu, and place your arms of blessing around us. Let us rejoice in your bounty, and our hearts take joy in your kindness. Tell Neat and Upwot to open their ways for us, and may you protect us with your strong arm of compassion. For you are the All-Lord, the Lord of Ma'at, Holy and splendid is your name. Capri at dawn, Atum at dusk. Ra Horaketi, as you rule the nine. Oyonashiro, may you grant life, prosperity, and health, alertness, favors, and affection. May our eyes see you every day as ones righteous who set you in their hearts. Supply our needs of bread and drink, and guard our mouths in speaking. Come to us and give us counsel. Make us heedful of your wisdom. When one appeals to you, you come from afar. Lend your ears to the lonely and the poor. May you give breath to those who are wretched, and bread to those who have none. Guardians of the weak, may you set the oppressed free, and let your blessings surpass all wealth. And I tell you what, there's one other thing here which I don't know if I have this in any of my books yet, but it's this is meant to be a grace before meals. And I know some of you guys are probably going to be going to bed before long after this, but for whichever meal we will all be partaking of next. O Sekhmet of yesterday, O Wajit of today, we praise you, for you have filled this table, even as you fill the table of your father Ra. Protect us with your Waj scepter of life, in your name of Wajit. Defend us from evil, as you defend Ra from evil, in your name of Sekhmet. We are yours, as Horus is yours, made whole for life. Enunma. Okay. Oh, well, thank you guys. Okay, yeah, and Sarcastic was saying, if I remember correctly, Tutankhamun has some glass jewelry that mimics carnelian. What I think there was glass of imitation of several different things.
Right.
I know that like the stripes in the headdress on his mask are blue glass,
Right.
but that's meant to imitate lapis.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah.
So whenever they replaced the faceplate, they used a higher, might be a slightly lower quality gold, but they put actual lapis around the eyelets, the eyes themselves.
Oh, well, when they made the mask. Yeah, but you know what? It was all about the look. And it certainly looks pretty.
They have not replaced the faceplate in modern times.
Oh, well, no. Well, it might have been when they were making the mask, because they can tell that there were seams from where the pieces were joined,
right,
by the ancient craftsmen.
Right.
I have tremendous respect for the ancient craftsmen, and because they were working with tools that were a lot simpler. They didn't have Nomex gloves, okay?
Right.
So,
as someone once said to my comic surprise, and I nearly lost it in the middle of a museum.
Oh, was that one?
Somebody got arthritis over that one.
Oh, look, real quick, guys. I have to tell that story because this is priceless. And some of you guys may have heard this before. I don't know. But in 2008, we took my youngest brother, who, of course, I said at the time he would have been in his mid-20s. We took him to go and see the Tutankhamun and the Golden Age of the Pharaohs exhibit. At that time, it was in Dallas. And the star piece of that collection, and I actually have a postcard of it, was one of his Kemetic coffins. So that's just a postcard of it. But we saw the actual piece, which I guess would have been, about that high?
Yeah, about 18 to 24 inches.
Yeah, so, I mean, if I were holding it in my hands, it would be very heavy, but it would be about like that big. And so it's in a glass case, and you see this thing, and the pictures don't quite do it justice, because you look at it and you think it was made yesterday. And with all of the little bits, carnelian and turquoise and, feldspar and everything else. Yeah, all these little bits. Remember, all these pieces were cut and shaped and then fit into cloisons in the gold. So somebody did that. And so it's a really stunning piece. So the three of us are sitting here just admiring this thing. And finally, my younger brother, you gotta remember, he kind of talks like this. He's got this funky redneck accent. And so he's standing there with his ball cap on, and he says, well, somebody got arthritis over this one. And we about lost it. We're like,
yeah, I'm biting my arms, so I'm not.
So we don't just roll on the floor laughing and howling in the middle of a museum exhibit, because we wanted to with everything we had. This is so. But when you consider that what he does for a living is work in a cabinet shop, he has an appreciation for handcrafted things, that most folks going to a museum are not going to have. But
yeah, he has an insight.
Yeah. Oh, and he was really admiring the furniture too. He said, yeah, because he was impressed with it, especially that it was in such good shape after all this time. So yeah. But by the way, thank you guys so much for the super thanks. Thank you guys. I love you. And by the way, we've got I haven't uploaded it onto YouTube yet, but on my birthday, I'm setting it to premiere, but the newest how-to episode. But if you want to catch it sooner, it's on Patreon.
So. Yeah, join the Patreon peeps for this one.
Yeah,
it's worth it. Trust me.
Oh yeah, I shared that. There's a visual meme that I made for it that we were watching, and you had to stop the video.
I had to stop the video. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, he had to catch his breath. I managed to make a zinger with that one, apparently. So. And it's timely, so it's
and I do want to say just one more time as a shameless plug. Anytime you give a super thanks or you join our Patreon peeps, at any level, but our highest one too, you help get us one breath closer to a church, you get us closer to tax-free donations, and you get us closer to days off on your calendar.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was sarcastic saying someone who does very tedious finger hurting crafts can confirm. Yes, but yeah. That's it's going to happen. Hopefully, this year is the year. But in the meantime, I guess for my August video, I'll have to make sure that Ptolemy does a happy dance for lots of folks.
By the way, did I miss cookies?
Yeah. But do you want one?
Yeah, because I didn't. I guess somebody just wrapped an arm around me and said sleep.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know I was.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, Conspiracy 10, do you want a cookie? And I will pull one for you. As a matter of fact, Darren, do you want to pull yours?
I want to pull his.
Oh, or
theirs.
Okay.
Then I'll pull mine.
Okay. Conspiracy Town. Darren is going to pull a cookie for you. Okay. So this one is for you.
Conspiracy, this is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Love you.
Hey, Darren.
What's up, man?
Hook one out for me, too. I would like to hear from Hathaway.
Okay. Okay, Conspiracy Town. This is the cookie that Darren pulled for you. Sharing little joys offers great hope to others.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true. Hey, look. We win the war against negativity and evil with every single good deed, good laugh, and good smile.
And a bit of good news. Yes. So sharing little joys offers great hope to others.
Yes. The best way to destroy evil is to
Pass on good.
Be better than you can.
If you see someone and you're coming in or out of a store or wherever you are, and you see that person looks like they're probably having a less than stellar day, simply smile at them.
Yeah.
More often than not, they will smile back.
Yeah.
And you'll sense the change.
Yep. And I'll pull Roberts.
Okay. So this one's for you, Monty.
Oh man, all the cookies are trying to electrify me right now.
Uh-huh. Okay. So this one's for you, Monty. And it says, if you have a job without aggravations, you don't have a job.
Ah! Oh,
well,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, you.
It doesn't matter what you do for your job. There's going to be some annoyance involved.
And I'm going to tell you, not all jobs have pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just taking care of your own critters around your house. Right. They're going to do something that's annoying.
Oh, yeah. Speaking as someone who has 2 ducks, and I swear one of them will poop as a statement of opinion. As in, she will turn and look at you, and you see her wiggling her little tail, her little butt, and she will just work it out and look at you like, that's what I think. That's Yotsubo.
Time for my cookie.
All right, so now it's time for Darren's.
Okay, Nick.
Oh.
Bless you.
No, that's not a reflection.
Good job.
Well, and I suppose we can't have Stephanie without shoe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, there we go. So this one is Darren's. Okay. Let's pop that down in here. Emotion is energy in motion.
Fascinating.
Boy, one of our little spirits glares at you when you do that, huh? But yes, emotion is energy in motion.
Right.
I just feel rhythm emotion. Thinking of the theme song for Gundam Wing.
It's very appropriate for Hathor to mention that.
Yes. Okay. Okay. And so Sarcastic is talking about Kiki, kitten. It's going to be a year-old soon. Best let the little miss grow up on me. Aw. But Conspiracy Town says thank you, Darren.
You're welcome, Conspiracy. Hey, Sarcastic, we love you, and I'm not being sarcastic.
Yeah. Alrighty,
yes,
guys.
Everybody, we love you.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up so everybody can. What, huh?
Did you not hear that?
What?
Yes, that was my Caesar.
I
heard the boy.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So that's what I was hearing. I thought
heard the cat.
So I thought I was hearing a person talking.
No, I heard a cat.
Oh, you're talking about a kitty person talking.
Participated.
Yeah, you mentioned Bast, and he immediately meowed.
Participated.
Aw.
Good kitty.
He's a good boy.
I'm thinking of that line from the book American Gods, and Bast says, "I've got eyes wherever my folk are."
Yes.
That she would know I'm always good to the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you are allergic to most of them.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to all of them, but I love them anyway.
Yeah. And I guess my prayer is I'm convinced that there's a cat in the neighborhood that somebody owns, but they let her roam. And so in the springtime, she goes out wandering, doing what cats do when they're not spayed or neutered.
Yeah.
And then later we see the kittens and have to try to, encourage them to, because we keep them if we could, but we can't. And so, I don't want any of them to have to go through that.
I'm so allergic, they can't even stay at the carport.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There was one kind of cat. What was it? Black cats?
Black cats are not as bad, but still, and especially, I tell you what, and so, you know what, we'll read one more prayer before we wrap up. But especially right now with the heat and the air quality and everything, it's been affecting everybody. It's been affecting me, and I normally don't have problems, but I had to hit an inhaler this week. It was not normal.
Between the air quality and it being so hot, nobody can move.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from the Litany of Shu. As I said, can't have Tefnut without Shu. So.
And that sends him out.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And then we'll wrap everything up. Shu is the one whom a tomb fashioned. His robe is the air of life. A cry for him went forth from the mouth of a tomb. The air opened upon his ways. He makes the sky light after darkness. His pleasing colors the breath of a tomb. Storm clouds in the sky are his efflux. Hailstorms and dusk are his sweat. The length of the sky is his stride. The width of the earth are his settlements. All living things upon the back of Geb, by a tomb's command does Shu govern them. His life is in their nostrils. He guides breath into their throats. And may he continue to do so and give us breath, those who are struggling to make it through the summer, and those, again, down under that, will be, we'll see this with the turn of the season soon enough.
May all the creatures out there who can't go to an air-conditioned environment please find shelter where they can.
Yes, and find shade and water and someplace cool. Yeah. That's something I did over the weekend. I dug in, and I've got a little pond form for water lilies, and I'm hoping that I can have some water lilies actually bloom, because that would be really great to have something on the altar. And I do have, those little baby Egyptian blue lilies. They're growing very slowly, but they're growing. So, and may they continue. Hail
May they thrive.
Yes. Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Capri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Yanu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost of the great Enid, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Yunu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Yunu, endures. As the name of Geb at the earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the shrine of Shenit in Yunu endures. As the name of Osud, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Aset in Necheru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pei endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti and Kamenu endures. As the name of Ra and the Akhet endures likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Hathor, O Tefnut. You have come in peace, O Yenuchru. May you go forth in peace, O Ra, Hathor, Tefnut. May you go forth in peace, O Yenuchru, to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Manjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay. Yes, and that was our other sister. So. Yes, participato gato is what Sarkat or Amiset said. So okay, and Wolf was saying a mother cat brought her 3 half-grown kittens into the house recently. And Sarcastic is saying cats know when you're allergic, it makes them want you more. And Married Weapowet says, yes, they do. I'm allergic to cats, even though I have 2 and I'm fostering 2. They like to touch my face, so I sneeze. The cats, Sarcastic is the cats are like, hey, we boop and you sneeze. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like, we know what we're doing. Oops. Oh, knocking things over.
Although I sure do miss Ravage. I really do.
Yes, we
Sweet boy.
Yeah, that when we were living in an apartment, there was a cat, a black cat, and there's a Tom, and he lived. Somebody must have owned him like down the street from our apartment complex, but they let him roam, and so he would come over, and we would feed him and stuff. And we named him Ravage, and it's an homage to Transformers, because of cat Ravage, but. People thought it was so funny. We're petting him because he was a sweet kitty. He didn't like being picked up, but he would come sit on the couch and let you love on him, and we're like, sweet Ravage. But he couldn't. Obviously, we couldn't let him, stay in the house because 1, there was not, no pets, but 2, Darren being allergic. But we'd feed him,
and he would get up on the couch so I could pet him.
Yeah, and somewhere I've got pictures of him.
And he would give. I have pictures of him.
Yeah, actually, you got a picture of him like in the crook of my leg because I was taking a nap on the couch and he was too.
Yep, he climbed up there and climbed in the crook of your leg and just conked out.
Yeah, so we were both sleeping on the couch.
And yes, I was allergic, but I just loved him dearly.
Yeah, so
perfect little black cat with these witch-fired green eyes.
Oh yeah, and then of course there was the time that Darren's dad. Came to visit because this was before his dad died, and he, as he explained to you, he was walking up the sidewalk to our apartment and sees this perfect black cat sitting on the porch, and he said, "That's the most realistic Halloween decoration I've ever seen. Where in the hell did they get that?" He says, and then the son of a bitch moved. I thought it was.
And then when Dad walked in the house, Ravage came in straight underneath his feet. And jumped up on the couch like, hey, Darren, who's the big guy?
What did your dad say about that?
And then, when Dad came in, Ravage immediately hauled ass for the back.
Uh-huh.
And I said, Dad, I'm going to need your help getting him out. He says, no problem. And Dad just walked back there. Ravage immediately bolted for the front door. And, Dad just opened the door and let him out. That wasn't going to be a problem,
Yeah, but I'm sure he was a bit bemused that we had a cat visitor.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, Dad, he kind of watches over the place and hangs out with us sometimes. Kind of figured,
Yeah. All right.
Sounds like it was very sweet.
He was. I miss him.
Yeah. Well, my pal Amy, who's not with us anymore, she she got to meet Ravage, and she was the one that called him a love bug.
Oh.
Because she loved cats. Amy, she was a cat person. She always had a kitty of some kind. And I knew the names of some of her cats because there was Tuffy and Misha, and when she was younger, they had a cat that they named Master Blaster for obvious reasons. Yeah. But now she and Ravage can hang out. So
with all of her other cats.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And here's hoping that this week coming up is a better one. And,
yes, love you and miss you.
Yeah, and be safe. Avoid the heat however you can.
Drink lots of the right fluid.
Yeah. And, be safe and come join us again next week. And in the meantime, know that we love you.
Enjoy the sun in moderation.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. Here, let me go ahead and don't forget to hit like. Gotta help those algorithms. Let me try to type.
How did you describe his eyes? Witchfire?
Witchfire
green, yeah.
Yeah.
He
must have been very beautiful.
He was. And as gentle as could be.
Yeah. All righty, everybody. Much love.